Lily，Hello，嘿，Lily，Hello，你好，你好，
听得到。
嘿，谢谢，谢谢，谢谢 Stay。
我们现在还在 mute 吗？对不对？
Anthony, investors are online. We can start the call. Thank you.
Sure. Um, I think we can start in like 30 seconds.
People are like, hey, yo, like it's very hard to cut. Or I like to stop in the shot for extended period of time.
Yeah.
So I feel this is going to, like, obviously we saw a 1 day reaction, but I don't think it's just.
Okay. So maybe you can start the call now. Okay. Maybe let me to start for the opening. So good afternoon, everyone. This is Anthony from JP Morgan Taiwan Equity Research. It's our pleasure to have Speed to have a business update today. Later on, Lily will deliver the opening remark first and followed by the Q&A session. Given the number of the participants, please raise your hands before asking questions, or you can drop your question to my mailbox at anthony.leng@jpmorgan.com, or also can Bloomberg chat me. And before start, let me maybe quickly sorry to please unmute please mute yourself given there's still some noise here. Thank you. And let me quickly read through the disclaimer first. So welcome. Please be aware that this conference call as well as the Q&A may be recorded and made available to clients of JP Morgan. And parts of this conference call may also be, say, reproduced in JP Morgan research. If you have any objection, you may disconnect at this time. And press participants are not permitted on this call and should disconnect now. And lastly, unless otherwise permitted by internal JP Morgan policy, members of JP Morgan Investment and Corporate Banking are not permitted on this call also and should be disconnect now. And now let me hand over to Lily. And Lily, please, thank you.
Thank you very much. 各位投资先进大家好，我英文之前我要先说明一下，这是信驊科技2024年第三季的法人说明会，但这个会议将会是用英文举行。那最后的 Q&A 你可以用英文问或是用中文问，那我都会用英文回答。Okay. So thank you for joining ASP Technology Investor Conference Call. My name is Lily and I'll be the host for today. Before we start, I want to update. I want you to look at the safe harbor notice. So for ASP statements of its current expectations are forward-looking statements subject to significant risk and uncertainties, and actual results may be different materially from those contained in the forward-looking statements. Except as required by law, we undertake no obligation to update any forward-looking statement, whether as a result of new information, future events, or otherwise. Please note that while we have made every effort to list all the significant risks, there may still be other risk factors that have not been identified or currently appear to be insignificant. This meeting will be recorded and put on website for later replay. So I'll quickly go through the company profile, update the Q3 24 financial numbers, and run through our product portfolio, and last bit on the Q1 outlook. Okay. So ASP is founded in 2004. So this year is actually our 20th anniversary, where Fabulous Light IC Design House with 123 people. We have two product lines. One is a cloud enterprise that has the BMC, the BIC, which is our mini BMC. PFR, that's our security chip. And this is about 89% of my revenue in fiscal year 2023. And my smart AV family is the Kubla 360 and AV over IP SoC, which is about 11% of our revenue. We are number one in BMC, number one in AV over IP under 1G Ethernet, and we're number one in commercial 360 camera. We are headquarters in Hsinchu. We have a branch office in Taipei and a US office in San Jose. By end of November 2024, the cumulative revenue reached about 5.72 billion, which represents 103.5% growth compared to the cumulative revenue for the same time last year. So now let's look at the Q3 24 financial results. Our revenue for Q3 it's 1.98 billion. It's a 46.5% up quarter-over-quarter. Gross margin is at 64.28%. That is 0.92 percentage point higher than Q3 24. Q3 24 we had some inventory write-off, so that affects my gross margin in Q2. My operating margin percentage is at 47.9%, which is 5.11 percentage point higher than last quarter, which falls at 42.78%. Net profit margin is at 36.72%. And the effective tax rate is approximately 20%. ASP tax is always approximately at 20%. EPS for Q3 24 it's 19.3. Now quick update on the product portfolio. For the cloud and enterprise product line, we have the BMC, and currently we're shipping ST2500 and ST2600. 2700 is our first BMC chip, first 12 nano BMC chip, which will be production ready by second quarter next year. And the another new one is the I/O expander, ST1700. 1700 is a companion chip to my ST2700. So the schedule is also first half next year, production ready at first half next year. We are currently shipping the BIC ST1030, and we're shipping the ST1060 PFR for the security chip. Now let's look at our Q1 outlook. Business strategy for the cloud and enterprise solutions. Our strategy is still very focused. Want to maximizing our dollars per content per server with ASP chips. So with each new generation, ASP will add more features and functionality to my BMC chips. We'll add more portfolio to my product lines. So now instead, on top of the BMC, we also have the BIC, the PFR security chip, and then we're going to have the I/O expander. So ASP dollar content per server will continue to increase. Second, to seize the opportunities for AI servers, we have been working with a lot of partners trying to design win with our BMC into the different solution of AI servers. And third is to accelerating the cadence of a product roadmap. In the past, ASP BMC schedule has always followed the traditional server product roadmap. However, going forward, on top of the traditional server, we might also support different different segment of a server with different kind of different BMC. For smart AV, we're trying to continue to reinforce the market position for AV over IP, and of course, to accelerate the deployment of Microcloud 360 in the smart factories, smart cities, and other use cases. For Q1 2025, we're currently expecting the revenue to be in between around 1.7 billion to 1.8 billion, and the gross margin will fall in between 63.5% to 65%. Thank you very much. This is my quick update. Then we are open to Q&A.
Okay, thank you, Lily, for the Q&A. And you can raise your hands anytime, and we will say your name, and you can unmute yourself to ask question directly. And while waiting for the question now, maybe let me start with the potential first question. How would you break down the BMC shipment this year and by product line, regular, mini BMC, and also AI BMC? And what's your view on the potential inventory destocking next year, and also the current inventory build status? Thank you.
Okay, so first on the product mix, based on the past 3 quarters and the expectation for 4th quarters, I think ASP will ship over 16 million for this year. I think about 16.3 to 16.3 million to 16.5 million for this year. Out of it, 3.3 million is for my BIC or mini BMC, and rest of it is for the traditional BMC. The 2500 consists of 25%, and rest of it is on 2600. And if I want to break down, so 60 million minus the 3 million for mini BMC, so that's 13 million. If I want to break down that 30 million of the traditional BMC, I think 2 million it's AI related shipment. Okay, and 11 million it's for traditional server shipment. And if I want to break down the 2 million for AI shipment, we think 800 to 900K it's for DPUs, and rest of it is for the BMC for the compute tray. Okay, for the traditional server, based on Digitim's worldwide server shipment this year, it's approximately 14.7 million for the worldwide servers. ASP market share at 70%. That means we should ship about 10.2 million to 10.5 million. And because ASP mix for cloud is higher, so growth is better than the enterprise. So we should, I think the regular shipment we should get is about 10.5, 10.7 million. And we are shipping about slightly over 11 million for this year for traditional server. So I don't think they are inventory for customers for this year. I do have one customer that builds inventory for this year, but just one customer. And they told us because the internal strategy, they are building the inventory. Okay, but for other customer, I think the inventory it's normal. So to answer your second question of destocking for inventory, so first of all, like I said, there's no inventory based on my shipment. We don't think there is inventory issues at my customers, so there's no destocking reason. Okay, yeah.
Got it. Very clear. And so regarding to your 10.5 to 10.7 million, and so you have a very little inventory build based on your expectation, and what could be the traditional server demand going to next year based on your initial talk with customers, and could it still grow, and what is the potential growth territory or customer type?
Okay, it is getting harder for us to provide annual guidance or annual comments for worldwide server because AI shipment will affect the traditional server shipment. Okay, with AI schedule there's uncertainty in the AI server schedule that will also affect the traditional server shipment as well. Okay, so ASP starting for next year will not continue not to be able to provide the annual numbers, but will also only provide quarterly forecast for investors. But based on what we receive from our customer, we think next year it's a low to mid single digit growth for the traditional server.
Got it. And regarding the, say, AI server part, you say around 2 million and around 800 to 900K going to DPUs and rest for compute trays. And what could be, say, how do you tell that, say, the shipment purpose based on the customer you, say, ship them mostly to the same audience between AI and non-AI? And only other than the, say, 800 to 900K to NVIDIA. So what could be the other 1.1 million, say, to 1.2 of the compute tray? How do you, say, separate from this based on your shipment?
How do I separate based on my shipment?
How do you tell that this is for compute tray for AI server? Yeah.
Because we ask.
Okay, got it. Sure. And how do you feel the, say, AI server shipment next year versus this year? And could it still be some, say, inventory build, or there could be continue restocking, or there's still very strong demand next year for customer pulling?
We think there's still a very strong demand for next year for AI server, but I don't think it's our position to comment on the percentage of the growth. But as of now, yes, we're seeing quite compared to traditional server, of course, it's a very, very strong growth.
Got it. And regarding the, say, mini BNC, around 3 million this year, and how could you give us some update on the, say, new customer next year, and say third customer or fourth customer, and could we still see some, say, 10 growth from this year? Thank you.
This year, BIC, we have seen a very strong growth for BIC. For next year, we do have 2 new customers, but I'm able to comment on their volume for next year. I think next year for Bridge IC, it will be a more moderate growth.
Got it. Okay. And regarding the, say, the original 2 customer this year, and if this part can also grow next year, or the growth is mainly from the new customers?
I think there's some growth from the new customer, but for the existing customers, it will be more moderate.
Got it. And regarding the, say, next topic, maybe let me stop here first and to see if any investor want to ask questions. Okay, so maybe next topics we would like to, investor would like to know is about the, say, market, say, competitive landscape. Sorry, I think Goku want to ask question, and yeah, Goku, please, thank you.
Hey, maybe thanks for the time. Maybe given that the market is definitely very excited about AI's ASIC versus general purpose GPU, could you talk a little bit about for ASP, if the growth is going to be a lot more ASIC driven versus GPU driven for AI servers? Is that better, worse, neutral for you? And maybe also from what you see, ASIC versus general purpose GPU for AI server, how does the growth stack up for next year on a relative basis? Thank you.
So right now, for this question, as for the AI ASIC servers, we are trying to find more information, but right now it's unclear about the architecture of the AI ASIC server. So we are not sure if we have more upside from AI ASIC servers compared to general purpose GPU servers.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you, Goku. And so, one investor have a question regarding the GB300 design change, and what could be the BNC content in GB300 versus GB200? Some potential potential design change to combine HMC and also DCSSM module, and what could be your view in the design change and the impact? Thank you.
We have to say for the GB series, there are quite a lot of different schools on the market, on the customer design. There's no one design that fits all. Okay, so for GB300, there's one marketing school without the HMC that combines the BMC to the SCM card. Okay, so yes, there's just one school with that solution, but there's also a school with HMC on it. Okay, so it's hard to say the percentage of with HMC or without HMC.
Got it. And another question is regarding the 2026 onwards, the Rubin generation, and is there potential BIC or mini BNC adoption into Rubin servers or longer term trend for the mini BNC adoption in AI server?
I think for Rubin generation, it's a bit too early to comment on this. Okay, but we are working with our partners very, very closely, trying to design in with different kind of BMC into it. Okay, so we'll see.
Sure, got it. And a follow up on the Goku's questions regarding ASIC BNC, and is there any like we compare with general server on the BNC content, but if we compare with ASIC with NVIDIA or GPU server, and what could be if ASIC penetration going up for the AI 10, and will SB benefit from ASIC trend pricing, or there could be potential content loss or other trend? Thank you.
I think it's the same answer we answered earlier. We are trying to get more information from the AI ASIC solutions. As of now, we're really not unsure about the design. So maybe if you can share with me the design, then I'll be able to answer that.
Got it. And another topic on is the market competitive landscape, and Norton has gained some share in Microsoft, and what is our view on the competitive landscape going to longer term, and when our AST2700 going online, and will we possible to gain some share back in the future generation? Thank you.
Competition is always there. Okay, with each generation of design and design win, ASB trying to provide our customer with best product, best design, and time to market on schedule. Our support, our R&D support, it's always very, it's always very instant. Okay, so hopefully we'll continue to have a very, very good market share going forward. But as of now, I cannot disclose my 2700 design win yet.
Got it. If we look at,
we got one question from Tiffany Shaw from Artisan. So the question is, what is the impact of OpenBMC for your company in terms of TAM and competitive landscape?
We support OpenBMC. Okay, so it's not a competition for us. Okay, so ASB actually benefit from this. Because of OpenBMC, our relationship with our end customer is actually closer. We provide our base firmware for them to use. So no, there's no competition because of OpenBMC.
Got it. And so there's another investor question popping in, and regarding the DPU or BlueField-3 DPU adoption in the compute tray, and what are we seeing for the say CSP adoption on the DPU and also the potential BNC content?
So if you look at my shipment for this year, I commented earlier, we ship about 2 million BMC, that is for AI server. Out of it, 800 to 900 is for a DPU. So the DPU mix versus my BMC mix for the compute tray is actually pretty decent. Okay, so that shows even though there's an option for a customer to use the in-house ASIC or the BlueField-3, I think the BF3 percentage is actually still pretty high. Okay, so same thing, I think going forward, although there's an option for our customers to choose to use the in-house ASIC, but because the time to market, the performance, I think the BlueField-3 should still have a very high percentage.
Got it. So you mean even though the in-house ASIC trend is going up, if any, you still expect say BlueField-3 adoption?
The trend is not going up, even though there's a solution for in-house ASIC.
Got it.
In-house, but still, I believe the BF3 mix is still quite decent.
Got it. Very clear. And one follow-up is regarding the say GB200 mix between 36 and 72. Is there a difference of the say DPU adoption between these two form factors?
No, and I think NVL36 it's not going to be a popular solution.
Got it. So 72 should be the mainstream next year.
Yes.
Clear. So back to the say market competitive landscape. Say Nuvoton maybe penetrate into say burst stream generation. So in your view, does say Nuvoton take 100% share in say burst stream in Microsoft, or we still have some share there? And given this say assumption, what is our say next year market share versus the current 60 to 70 market share?
First of all, this is an A-Speed conference call, so I will not answer my competitor's question. Okay, maybe you should ask them for the answer. But I don't think it will affect much on my market share for next year.
Got it. So regarding say, could you give us some updates regarding say our expander and PFR chip and the potential say ready production of the 2700 and our expander in first half next year? But what could be the potential say adoption ramp? Is it say early 26, or we could see some say earlier ramp?
The AST2700 and IO expander will be production ready by end of first quarter. Okay, but the actual shipment I think will be fourth quarter next year, which means it probably won't start ramping up until year 2026. But this is also based on customers' schedule, so that's what we're expecting. Maybe 2026 ramp.
Got it. Regarding the say margins, what will be say our margin expectation for gross margin next year and also operating margin?
I provided the first quarter gross margin. I don't have the full year, but we think next year gross margin should be slightly better than this year. First quarter it is already better already. Gross margin falls in between 63.5 to 65%.
Yeah, but for say OP leverage, say starting from say third quarter, we already see some very strong say revenue and should be say much higher versus 2Q22 level, but we see some say OP leverage is not that significant. And what could be the potential reason? And will we see say stronger say OP leverage going forward, especially on your say new product cycle in 26?
First of all, I think Second quarter OP, you say second quarter, right?
You mentioned second quarter 2022.
Yeah, 2022, the peak year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you just look at the OP leverage trend this year, I think the OP leverage is quite evident. But if you want to compare our operating profit this year, compared with the second quarter 2022, the main difference is that this year we have some write-off of Emulex Pilot 4 inventory, but in 2022 we didn't incur that kind of write-off cost. So it's not that appropriate to compare these 2 years because we have a little bit different cost, one-off cost structure.
I see. And going forward, say next year, what could be the, say, writing off cost factor versus in the past few years?
Writing off, I don't think we'll have much writing off. The write-off was on Emulex BMC,
Yeah.
Okay. And because like ramping up to AST BMC, that's why there's a write-off. But other than that, going forward, I don't think we'll see much write-off.
Yeah, so say Emulex writing off cost or impact will be end by, say, fourth quarter or third quarter this year.
I think so. Will be end by this year.
Got it. So regarding the, say, market landscape and ASP of our products, I think what could be the, say, ASP range between 2700, they have different SKUs, say 2700 plus and 2750, and what could be the variance of this ASP range and potential impact from the, say, any potential competition, if any? Thank you.
We haven't started shipping yet, so I am able to provide the ASP for 2700.
Say average will be, say, 24 to 25 based on the, say, current expectation or our initial target.
Like I said, I won't be able to comment on the ASP yet.
Got it. And regarding the, say, in-house sourcing for GUC, that part, what could be the potential impact on the margin and also, say, any pricing impact, and when will we start to see this happen?
We will start to do the backend by ourselves from AST 2700. We'll still rely the front end with our turnkey solution partner. Okay, just the backend ASP will handle by ourselves. By doing that, ASP is able to maintain our gross margin and to keep our ASP at a reasonable raise price.
Got it. So theoretically, there could be, say, improve our margin, but you say maybe, say, you will, say, make some balance between ASP and margin.
Yes.
Got it. Very clear. And also one question from investor from Bloomberg. Say, could management comment on the, say, timeline of BirdStream rollout and the adoption? And in the past, IngoStream has some delays, right? So have we gone past some such issues to next, say, BirdStream or, say, next generation? And do we expect some, say, smoother adoption rate or ramp-up time this time?
I think so. I think we're expecting to start shipping BMC for BirdStream by first quarter next year. But to be honest, because EagleStream and BirdStream uses my 2600, so it's really difficult for us to tell if the current BMC shipment is for EagleStream or BirdStream. So it's only after we ship out, maybe our customer will tell us this is for certain product line. But we haven't heard any delay.
Got it. So maybe this time will be more smoother adoption for BirdStream. So maybe let me pause here to see if any, say, online investor want to raise hand to ask question. One question from me to follow up is the non-BNC part, and what could be the, say, non-BNC outlook next year, and there could be some, say, project delay from this year to next year, and what is the potential growth opportunity and, say, new project update. Thank you.
First of all, my smart AV family actually grew pretty well this year, although it's not from a percentage point maybe slower than last year, 2023. But if you look at itself, the growth is actually pretty good this year. We continue to work with, for Coupa 360, we continue to work with ODM customers for smart factories as well for the smart cities. And I think we're going to see a good progress for next year. For AV over IP, in my presentation, I did mention we are #1 in 1G market. Okay, so we'll continue to work with our customers, trying to get more design in design win. And in the longer run, we still have a much bigger, we believe this product line is still going to have a very strong growth.
Got it. Percentage-wise, or say revenue mix, what could be the potential trend next year?
I don't know, because since I don't have an annual BP, so it's hard to comment on the percentage for specific.
I see. Got it. Got it. So regarding the, say, server architecture trend, say we have seen modularization trend from the, say, upstream and, say, next year, and what could be the this, say, change or the BMC content difference and versus our existing generation, and what could be potential impact to SB?
Modularization.
Yeah.
So modularization for, I think it's ongoing for both AI server and traditional server. Okay, so for traditional server modularization, server design means BMC will be removed from the main board and put on as an add-on card, the BMC card. So that gives us an opportunity for the IO expander business model. Okay, so starting from 2026, when AST2700 start to ship, we'll have the companion chip for that to ship with my AST1700. Okay, so this will give us an ASP uplift from year 2026. For AI server, because of modularization, the card and card design, there may be usage for BMC, maybe usage for BIC. It's all very still under design. Okay, so I can't comment on details for the design yet, but I think it will be various different marketing school for different kind of design.
Got it. Got it. And regarding, say, 2700 companion chip, say, IO expander, say, do we see, are we using, say, bundle sales or less optional for customer? And if it is optional, what could be, say, our expected, say, adoption rate of a speed in-house expander?
It is an option for customer. So if you don't use a BMC card, there's no need for the IO expander business. Okay, so then you just need the AST2700. But when you use the BMC card, the modularized server design, then there's an opportunity for 1700. We believe if customer use the modularization design BMC card, our IO expander market share is going to be very high. But as of now, we are unable to comment the mix between traditional server design and the modularization server design. So it's hard to provide a percentage.
Got it. Got it. And regarding, say, modularization design with the add-on card, is there, say, design easiness for, or say product easiness for BNC, and they will, say, introduce more say BNC vendor coming in, or you say SB will maintain the leadership in DCSCN design going forward?
As of now, we haven't seen any other solutions in the market. SB watches the market very, very closely. Okay, so we work very, very closely with the audience, providing with them with all the solution and support. Okay, but as of now, we haven't seen any other competition in the market because of the BMC on the card.
Got it. Very clear. So maybe follow up on the previous investor questions on Open BMC, and there's no competition regarding Open BMC trend. But is there any beneficial impact on SB on both value adds and also ASP and margin on our product?
No, it's the same.
Got it. Okay, maybe let me pass for a while for investor to ask more questions. So regarding PFR chip, what is our expected market share versus the current incumbents and our product competition? Could you give investor a little bit more elaboration?
For PFR solution, there are quite a lot of customers use in-house solution, and as of now, ASP market share is approximately 35%.
For the current time point.
Yes.
Got it. And so going forward, going to burst stream or off stream, the market share, is there potential upside for SB's market share?
This is for burst stream, so I don't know about for off stream yet.
Got it.
So if there's no more question, we can conclude the call now.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Lily, for today's presentation and Q&A, and thank you all participants for your joining. And we may disconnect now. And thank you, everyone, and have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.